Bruce sees all.
Hi, welcome everyone. Thanks so much for being a part of this community, for taking the time to subscribe, and for all the generous contributions. Let's head over to the moon, a UFO entering a crater. So here's the situation. This is in the negative. You're looking at an unknown object. It looks like it's alive. It's not following a straight trajectory. It does look alive, definitely, and they're going inside of the craters. You could see a smoke, haze, that's very thick, so it's a lot more than just a haze. Look up the meaning of hazes. I don't think it means thick, dense smoke that you can't see through. So the secrets underneath this hazes or clouds are huge, huge. But the secret of how they're hiding everything is not huge, and it's being hidden with natural forces. Imagine if there are clouds on the moon in the atmosphere, more than we thought. They wouldn't have to lift a finger except for set up some bright lights up on the surface. So you're looking at a real UFO going into a crater. And there's no classification for that. And Pentagon, nobody talks about it. Some of the lights appear bright, and just before they descend, don't look like they're exploding or anything, but some of them do. We'll look at that probably a bit further in the video. But why the fiery tail, the smoky tail, right? And, you know, light, whether they're light beings or it's just UAPs or it's debris catching on fire and descending down into the atmosphere after they burn up, it wouldn't do this, split in two. A direct line between these two lights, because lights are being spit out of UFOs. UFOs are spitting, or UAPs are spitting out lights from themselves. Straight line into the haze and smoke. So we're looking on the surface. This is near Copernicus. And we're looking at the surface with the exposure right down, zoomed up on one area, slowed down. And sometimes there's more activity than others. And we could see this activity, which again was never spoken about, lights splitting in two. I showed these so quickly. But when I find out more information about them or have a better narrative, I show them. In the near future, wars will be done through remote controlled vehicles, drones, and frequencies, from satellites, from space, from secret technology, from understanding nature and physics, and unfortunately, putting that knowledge to the use of evil people. Beginning of 2019, 2017, 2018, they were there. I'm still seeing them. But this time here, filmed, you see projectiles coming from mysterious phenomena on the surface, UAPs, and at the same time, there are hundreds of them, sporadic, all over the surface, moving at high rates of speed and massive fires. So for me, I don't have to wait for the Pentagon or a UFO report or anyone, Navy, anyone, to tell me that there's something up there on the moon. That, first of all, they're not even talking about the moon. And a bone-chilling footage that you're seeing right here, because there are many hundreds of people, if not thousands of people, inside of the atmosphere of our moon. And it's very important for me to find proof of that, right, if I'm saying it, and I'm showing you on fire phenomena in the atmosphere of the moon catching on fire, right? There's no combustion on the moon, right? Catching on fire, and this one going inside of a crater. Check this shit out. There's the crater. There's that phenomena, ghost-like, spirit-like object either high up off the surface or close to the surface, dropping off other lights, by the way, showed that over 20 times. And I'm going to get an arrow up and look at it. I don't need an arrow. You guys can see it going down. There you go. In the hole. You lady. And there's nothing that NASA or any scientist or big telescope will be able to do to speak against the research. And you know what? That's why I had to have a lot of findings. Like, I had to show this hundreds of times. So God gave me the power to do so. And thanks to you all, I have a community and a platform, and I'm able to share some of this with a few of you. They are all on the moon under the hazes. This is Aristarchus crater, by the way, with the exposure taken down. We're right up on the ridge in that line of smoke. Very straight, perfectly made line of smoke. We have these vehicles or objects circulating around. And look, I've shown them all over the moon, and they don't all have the same characteristics. Some of them really, really don't look like UFO craft, that's for sure. And most of what I'm getting on the moon just is unidentified aerial phenomena. I think it's beyond the point of transient lunar phenomena, right? That's a term, whether real or not, could be possible. But I tend to think that that term was used so that people will stop thinking that there are people up there, right? It's phenomena. Like the military in Kansas, over Kansas, that said, well, hey, UFOs all over the ground sporadically placed. We're not going to call the authorities unless they're in the air. Does that make any sense to you? It's one hell of a big cover-up, and every single association and higher person in that association is either paid or just stupid or scared, and it's not telling the truth. They were warned not to, most likely. Intelligent light phenomena. I'm going to come up with a term for these objects because I assure you it has nothing to do with the UFO reports that they're talking about. This is double-topped secret, I believe, and it's something that they would have never brought out, not even think or come close to doing so. Turn down your lights, guys, if you're looking at this. This is light phenomena on the surface, smokes and hazes, and explosions and everything. Let me tell you something. There are several phenomenon when it comes to light. Light has the ability to undergo processes, like you all know. This is learned in grade 2. Well, some of it. Reflection, refraction. We have dispersion of light, and we have diffraction of light. But these objects that I'm showing you has nothing to do with light phenomena. These are intelligent beings or intelligent light phenomena. All the construction is there all across the moon. We're going to look at Copernicus crater. I'm not going to get any arrows up on this. There's a power source and an extended, extremely long line connected to a whole bunch of objects at the back of Clavius crater. We're going to zoom up on that to take a look at that. There's a lot of people that say, well, if there's UFOs or if it looks like you're seeing people on the moon, you would see some construction, you would see some signs of maybe cities, and they're all there. But the science was developed to hide most of these things so that big scientists will turn around and tell you you're looking at ejecta.
Will we ever meet them one day? I think that'd be pretty cool. Maybe we already have, maybe they're already here. But the fact that they really are up there, this is something beautiful I don't want to share alone. Like a good friend and I always say, they are us and we are them.
Leia, how's your wrist doing? Listen, Leia, I really want to thank you. While you guys are looking at the greenery on the surface, I always go through many thank yous, from Lisa Eckerly to Gate Smasher to Julie to Darla to everyone who supports this channel, and I haven't named half of it, Andromeda Native. There's a whole slew, Christy, Lindsay, all the amazing support over the years while we're looking at this greenery near Copernicus crater. Leia, you went all out for a generous contribution in helping this channel and helping me get more equipment, and I really want to thank you, and it's important to know that it's greatly appreciated because I know none of you are rich, and I thank you all. Greenery in Copernicus crater, Love, love, love. That's what we need to show. Copernicus crater has greener on the surface. There's no filters here. We can see the beautiful elevation just with a 14-inch telescope. So we can only imagine something or someone flying by the moon, how well we would see the surface. The image that Artemis 1 sent back, quite frankly, is a little embarrassing. Big secret that nobody knows about. Here's the proof of it coming up and out of the haze. Whatever it may be, it's coming up and out of the haze. I've showed it a lot closer. I've showed many of these objects. They're combusting. There's a fire coming from it, a source of energy coming from these objects. The proof is in the pudding, my friends, whether you like pudding or not. And everyone, thanks for the generous contributions, and thanks for watching the videos.
Aliens are up there on the moon. They may be even coming right here soon. Aliens are mining on the moon. Yes, they are up there. Doesn't matter, cause disclosure's coming soon. Disclosure's coming soon.